In today's video, I'm going to give you 7 proven basketball plays that work fantastic against a man-to-man defense. Let's get down and let's check out these basketball plays. Okay, so in this first play, we're going to start with a high 1-4 offense. And what we're going to start with is having player 5 set a screen for player 1, and we're going to have players 2 and 3 cutting down towards the low corners. Once they get down there, and obviously we have that screen, at the same time as this screen happens, we're going to have player 4 setting a screen as well. This is what we call a Spain screen on player 5, so that when player 5 gets screened, but after he sets that screen, he's going to be using that screen and cutting towards the basket. Now, a few things are going to be happening. Of course, we could set down an alley-oop or an easy basket for player 5. We could also have player 1 using that screen and cutting towards the basket. Obviously, player 1 could take that shot or go in for a left-handed layup, but there is something else that does happen, and that is player 4 will pop out towards the 3. Now, this is a basketball play that has so many moving parts that there are so many different options, and you have to have a very smart point guard to be able to run this offense, or at least this play, because the first option is obviously player 5 for the layup. Second option is player 1 for the layup. Third option is if player 3 comes down and plays help defense, we could have a third option with player 3 blue taking that 3-point shot. We could also have a skip pass or a hammer pass out to player 2 for a 3-point shot as well. And if player 4's man comes down to defend player 5 with player 5's man chasing and player 1's man is chasing him, we could have an option for a kick-out pass to player 4 for the 3-point shot up top. So there are so many different options. You need a point guard who needs to be able to dribble the ball with his head up and has to have the ability to see all of the different options depending on what the defense is giving him. Now, this second option would normally look like this. However, how I like to set this up is by having player 5 out on the perimeter out here because he's going to be one of our options. So our first option is going to be coming from player 3 getting screened and setting a screen for player 1. This is called screen the screener. If there's a switch, there's a switch. If there isn't, that's okay. We are now going to be setting up what I call a double screen for player 5. So player 1 is going to be coming off of this screen, going and either attacking the basket or going out towards the mid-range or 3-point line area. I would prefer for player 1 to be out in the 3-point line. Obviously, he could take that shot. Now, from there, we're going to have player 3 not rolling towards the basket. He's going to be popping up to the 3. Now, the reason for that is player 1's man is chasing. If player 3's man hedges too far, this could be a 3-point shot. Now, the next option, once these screens are set, I know we've been talking about what's happening over here for a bit, but as soon as these two screens are set, we need player 5 to be popping off of those two screens and being our third option, which will be a quick pass down to player 5 for a layup or a dunk. So really quickly, this would look like this. There would be that screen. We would have a screen up top. We would then have this player moving over, and at the exact same time as player 1 using player 3 as a screen, we're going to be having player 5 using him as a screen. We're going to be having player 3 pop. Now, what could happen is, again, layup, 3-point shot, or if we pass to player 3 and he's covered, we're going to be having player 4 set that screen down. This is our fourth option, and we're going to have player 2 popping because at this point in time, we'll now have player 4 as our fourth option for a 3-point shot. Now in this third play, I like to have a pass over to player 2, and I'm going to call this our man offense for the triangle basketball offense. And instead of player 1 cutting down, what we're going to have is player 1 setting a screen away for player 4. So he's going to set that screen, and player 4 is going to be cutting across the key. Now this is very important because when he's cutting across, I want to see player 5 setting a screen as well for player 4. Player 4 is going to pop out, and we're going to have a pass down to player 4. Of course, that would be our first option for our 3-point shot. At this time, player 1 is going to go out towards that mid-post area. Player 3 is going to be closer to the point. What I would now like to see is for player 5 to set that back screen on player 2 and player 2 to cut towards the basket, and player 3 to be setting that screen away for player 1. Player 1 is going to be using that screen, and now player 5, after that back screen, is going to be rolling towards the basket. Obviously, if player 2 is open, pass him the ball for that layup. We really want to see that happen. If nothing comes about it, player 5 is going to roll towards the basket and set up his post position once again. And now player 2 is going to be using player 3 as a screen once more. Now, at this point in time, we're going to be having player 4 pass to player 5. Player 1. I don't know why I said player 5. Player 1 could take that 3-point shot. Player 2 is popping off of that screen. That'll be a pass to player 2 for a possible shot. Or if not, we can now switch sides. Player 5 is going to go towards that low post. We'll pass over towards the wing, and now we can set up in a triangle, or we can have the screen away once more and set up the exact same offense as what we just did, just on the opposite side of the court. Now, I'm going to show you a quick 5-out basketball play that you could run. This will be our 4th play. And of course, if you want to check out the complete guide to the 5-out basketball offense, make sure to go check out the link down in the description below. But what we're going to have here is player 4 setting that screen away for player 3. Player 3 is going to receive the pass from player 1. When this happens, I want to see player 1 cut towards the basket and player 4 popping off of that screen. Of course, player 3 could have taken that shot as well, but player 1 is going to be cutting towards the basket, and he's going to be posting up for just 1 second. At this point in time, player 3 is going to be dribbling up top if he doesn't want to pass to player 1, and we're going to have a pass to player 5. At this time, we're going to be having a screen for player 1, and player 3 is also going to be setting a screen as well. Player 1 has 2 different options. He can pop off of that screen to the point, or he can pop out towards this corner. If he pops back out towards the point, I want to see player 3 setting a screen for player 2. Player 2 may be open for a 3, player 1 may be open for a 3, and player 3 pops out. We're still in our 5-out, and we can set another 5-out play for us. Or what we can do instead is if player 1 pops out towards this corner, I want to see player 3 screen away. Player 1 is going to receive that ball. He could take that 3-point shot. Or if he's covered, we're going to have a back screen on player 5. We're going to have a screen up top for player 4. Player 5 is going to be cutting. Could be a layup. If not, what's going to happen is player 5 is going to clear out. Player 2 is going to clear out, and now we are still in our 5-out with the ball in the corner. At this point in time, you can run a simple pass and screen 4, and that would be a screen and roll, and now we can have some screen and roll action in that corner because you probably won't have much time left on the shot clock at this point. A nice quick hitter that you could run as well for our 5th play is for players 2 and 3 to cut down towards the corner. Players 5 and 4 to set a screen up top. Player 1 makes the decision to go left or right. If he goes left, we're going to have player 4 roll off, especially if there's a hedge. We've cleared out the middle. This could be an easy layup. If there's help defense, kick it out. If there's nothing, we're going to have the players fill out into a 5-out because I always like to be able to finish off every play into a 5-out. In our 6th play is another simple play, and I like to have it so that we have a low 1-4. Players 5 and 4 set screens out for players 2 and 3. They're going to cross the high post. Whichever player has their hand up, let's say player 2 has his hand up, he's going to be the one setting that screen. Player 3 is going to use that screen. Player 3 is going to pop out. We're going to have a pass to player 3. Meanwhile, we could have player 3 take that 3-point shot, which is what I would prefer. If not, then what's going to happen, and let's say he's not open, we're going to have these players spread out and again, once again, finish with a 5-out basketball offense. Now this last play that I'm going to show you is another 5-out offense that you could run. That's a nice quick hitter, and I actually find great success with it as well. It's just a simple pin down screen at first. After that corner pin down screen, we're going to have a screen on either side of player 1. Player 2 and 3, they're going to be popping out towards the 3-point line. And at this point, we want to have player 1 in attack mode, attacking the slowest defender off of the screen. And that should allow for an open lane. If not, player 3 will be forced to play help defense, potentially player 2 as well. And that would be a kick out 3. I hope that these 7 basketball plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time. Make sure to go check out the complete guide to the 5-out basketball offense down in the description below.